And welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about the Three.js WebXR start template that I created for you to make it very easy for you to start with Three.js, physics, hand tracking, controller tracking, and simple grab and throwing mechanics that can be used with WebXR. As you can see here, the sample scene, I have a few cubes. I can point at these cubes. These are highlighted. I can grab them by pressing the grab button. They follow my hand, they follow the rotation, and as soon as I release the grab button, they're falling down, I can throw them, and they're interacting with the world. The idea behind this template is to give you a very easy start and to show you what's possible with WebXR these days, and maybe even, because I often get the classic AI questions today. So what about agent and how can I use them? Even agents will have a easier start when they're provided with a good defined template. And that's enough of the showcase. It's now time for me to show you around the code and show you how everything is made. So when looking at the source code, let's start with the index.html. As you can see, it's a very simple HTML with title and import map where we're importing Jolt physics. And in case you don't know the Jolt physics yet, this is a very popular physics framework. I'll talk about it a little bit more in detail later on. And in the body type, we're just importing our main JavaScript file. This is where the magic happens. So I tried to add comments as much as possible, so everyone who is using this can start from scratch and get a better understanding of how the code works and how it's used here. So as you can see here, it's a minimal sample with main.js, which serves as the main hub for everything else, and everything is like separated in a scene, physics, environment, cubes, and interaction JavaScript file, which is loaded when needed. So for the main.js, it's also importing a style CSS. I'll just show you that style CSS, which is very minimal here. And I have a timer for creating the delta time, and this delta time is used to drive the updates in the specific parts of the code. It's a very short look at the scene.js, which creates the scene, the camera, the renderer, and does all the nitty-gritty work. It's usually done in one big JavaScript file. I'll try to separate it here to give you a better and proper understanding of how everything works. The input.js sets up everything from hand to controller input, the models that are rendered, that are taken directly out of the Three.js model factories. The scene and the renderer is used here. I even created an array here that makes it easier for you to select elements, and I set up the controller here, the grip here, and the hand here. These are the grab sources that are also exported here, and it's possible to switch automatically between them. In the environment, everything regarding the environment like light, the planes, the cubes, etc. is defined here. In the torus node, which is a purely decorative element here, it should just show you that there is something moving in the scene. The interaction.js is the gameplay logic here. It imports the physics.js, which takes care of everything physics related, and it's just for creating everything like the intersection, checking if something's held, do the grab anchor thing, all the grabbing, releasing, and registers the events for controllers and hands, for squeeze and start, and for pinch and start. It moves the kinematic body to the hand and changes its world position and world rotation according to the grabbed device, hand or controller. It updates the ruler function with the array and the update interaction here. The physics.js. It's the secret star of this template because it uses the Jolt template, which is a compiled WebAssembly. I'll try to give you a little bit more of the theoretical background here. Even here the import with the Vite ignore, otherwise Vite doesn't try and fail to import the physics engine. And Jolt, as it was for me, was a little bit of a more complicated thing to learn because there are simpler options like Ammo or Canon.js. But after I got used to it, I think Jolt is a very, very good physics engine. Other web frameworks like Babylon.js have integrated engines like Babylon.js, which uses the Havoc engine. So just setting up the collision layers, mapping everything here, and make sure that the collisions are detected in the right way. Creating the Jolt system here, creating box shapes, static box, and the dynamic box for the cubes to throw, controlling the bodies with the kinematic and the dynamic function, teleporting the body, for instance, to snap the cube into the hand at the grab time, and moving it around with the body flips, and the step simulation for calculating the physics. And last but not least, the Cubes.js, where the cubes are created with Three.js, and everything regarding the physics is added here too. You can see everything is here, and the dynamic box is added here to the user data of the cube. And this is used to sync with the physics. Now, some people may argue that it would be possible to put that all in one big JavaScript file, and that's absolutely true. But in my personal experience, it makes sense to separate everything out, make it easy exchangeable, and even AI agents have a better chance to understanding the code and extend it in a, let's say, less token-using way. You can even try this template without owning a headset like the Quest 3. You can just use npx write to start this. If this warning pops up, click on Advanced, Proceed, and you can see the 3D environment here. And if you hold the left button and drag around, you can use the orbit controls to orbit around in the scene. And when you look down here, there is XR not supported button. This means that there is no XR usage possible at the moment. But if you have the Immersive Web Emulator installed, this is a Chrome extension which can be found in the store and which recently got updated to version 2.0. You can use this one to test your environment within the browser without an XR headset. It's easier step. You install that and you have the Immersive Web Emulator button here. Click on it to activate it. It turns green and it will display you enter or start XR since the browser now starts XR. Be careful, if you enter the web development tools, you will see a warning in the web console. This is normal because the web emulator injects its own Three.js version here, and Three.js will trigger this warning due to multiple versions imported. You don't have to take care of that. This is normal. Just leave it be and start XR here. And as you can see, the web exporter here renders controller models. I can move them around. When I hit the cube, the array will update this cube. You can see it barely changing color here. And if I now click on grip, I can grab this cube and can move it forward. And if I release the grip, it will fall down and collide with the floor. When clicking on the controller again, it will turn to rotation mode. If I click it again, movement mode, so goes for this controller. And if I go up here in the controller button and click here, I can even use my hands and use the pinch for grabbing stuff. A little bit forward, release the pinch, and the cube falls down on the floor. You can exit that and we'll go back in the 3D scene. Click on the green button again to turn it off and stop emulating, and you're back in the 3D scene. So as you can see, everything works pretty nice. The work was pretty good. The template is pretty, in my opinion, pretty easy to understand, and it should give you a good start for your own WebXR implementation, WebXR project, WebXR game, whatever you like. to create with it. It's on GitHub already. The link is, as always, in the description box. And I added a README here, which explains everything here, besides the comments in the code, how to download it, how to start it, how to use it, and so on. A little troubleshooting guide for you guys. And that's it for today's video. So if you like what you see, you can become a YouTube member. You can sponsor us on GitHub. You can join our Patreon. You can support us on Ko-fi. Your support is really appreciated. And if you are not able to support us financially, please just comment, like, subscribe to the channel. This also helps a lot. And that's it for this video. If any questions arise, drop a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.